Of course, it says Christmas wishes and mistletoe kisses. So my idea is you could chase your families and members around with this little mistletoe bundle and make them kiss you. Wouldn't that be fun? This was planned out pre-COVID, but you can chase them around and terrify them that you're going to get them a kiss and get them sick. Y'all, it's all in fun. We're just having fun here. Thank you, Anne. Thank you. So we're going to do a couple of little clusters first off. So I'm going to pull this off to the side for a minute. We're going to have a little open room over here to work on. And I'll put my little mistletoe cluster away. And let's get it started. So 2 of the picks that come in the kit have berries and kind of like little crabapple type looking cherry type berries that are always fun. Hi Sonia, hi Ann, hi Vince, thank you so much. Happy Saturday. Hi Georgie in Georgia, good to see you guys. Then these are greenery picks, okay? So we're going to use these in little clusters together. And I am just going to cut off their little tips a little bit. So what you're going to need at home, you're going to need some hot glue, you're going to need a little hammer, and you're going to need a wire cutter on your own. Switch out and get my good cutters. Those are my wore out cutters. Here's the good ones. Okay, let's trim all that. Thank you for sprinkling, guys. So I'm going to make these clusters at the same time. I just cut off that little tip because we don't need that getting in the way. Alright. Now just take and slide these behind each other where the stems go in the back. Okay, because we want those to be hidden in the back. And the way we're going to kind of make this pick look similar on both sides is we're just going to do a little bit of switching around. I'm going to bring the pine over here. Okay, I did it on that one. Let's do it on this one. So I'm just holding it in the middle while I'm bringing the pine over. Okay. And now I'm going to bring that little berry over. Just bend the wire. And then 1 holly leaf. So that way the holly leaves are kind of opposite each other. And then I'll bring the berries over on this one. Okay, and just in design school, our design class, we call that shaking hands. So you're going to take a moment and shake hands with everything. Oh, good, 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 good. I'm glad you're liking it all. Excellent. And we want a little section kind of a little bit open in the middle because we've got a little surprise we're going to pop in there. Okay? So your kit also comes with a couple cable ties. You're going to take and just slide them under and just get it tight there. Well, I'm glad, Cece, I'm glad you liked it. Awesome. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Brenda. Hi, Jan. Happy Saturday to you, too. Y'all, there's lawnmowers going, dogs barking. Kaya got an early Christmas gift of a basketball goal, and she just thinks that that is awesome. She's happy. Okay. So I just pull that tight. All right, and there are those, and I'm going to trim this off. So you've got 2 basically identical clusters. Now, I didn't say earlier you needed a staple gun. You could glue these on the side, but I am going to totally use a staple gun also, just to get a little more, you know, holding power basically. And I'm also going to be gluing them as well. If you're going to make this as a gift, I would suggest just hitting it with a little staple gun also. Okay. Hey, Alice, you're filling orders? Awesome. Good job. Now, I'm going to bring my big sign back here. And literally, we're going to put these out on opposite corners pretty far out. Okay, just to add that little bit of touch of greenery, which is super cute. And even if you're not getting the kit from us, guys, think about signs you might have or signs you make. If you're a door hanger, painter, or maker, you know, you might add a little bit of embellishment to your projects. So it's going to be a little loud. I'm going to staple gun a couple of these in here. Hopefully I can get a little bit in there. I'm also going to just grab like a little of the pick here and then add some glue. I've got a hammer too if you want to hammer any of those staples in. I'm using a pretty short staple. If I had my longer one, it would be working a little bit better. There we go. Boom! Okay, that one's in. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Sorry it's so loud. But This one, because we are going to be using our little mistletoe cluster over here, we want to keep it way down to the edge. Hi, Christy. All right. So I'm going to bring a little of the pine over. This little leaf. Spread those out so I can grab those with the staple gun. Boom. Oh man, I missed it. Shoot. Got it. Let's do another one. Alright. Maybe one more. Let's do one more on this holly leaf. I'm going to turn it this way. Hey Ari, I'm using your favorite tool you don't like, your staple gun. She's like, I do not like the staple gun, Mom. Okay, so far so cute. Thanks, Linda Sue. I'm glad you're liking it. All right, those are stapled in. Now, our next step is we are going to, in your kit, you're also going to get a couple of candy canes. Hi, Janet. Great to see you. I'm going to curl this into like a little ball. So we're not going to use it as a candy cane. We're going to turn it into a little candy. And I'm going to just poke that wire in so it doesn't come out. And then these are going to sit right in the center of our clusters to cover up all the mechanics. Okay? So let me make 2 of those, and then we're going to glue them in. Hi, Susie! We're going to totally glue these in. So I just curled this up. Y'all, I'm sorry the lawnmowers are so loud in the background. They are just, and we got like a lot of crews out there. They're not at my house, but they're at the neighbors. All right, 2 candies ready to go, right for the center. All right, let me get some glue. I am using my glue pots, so you're gonna see me bring over the glue on the stick. That's just the way I like to do it, okay? So I'm gonna put some glue in the back here. And then I also wanna just hit these staples in here with a little glue. Just keep rotating it. Okay, and then I'm going to take and just push that candy down on there. I'm going to put my little velvet leaf behind it, my little holly velvet leaf. You like it, Georgie? Yay! Cool! Okay. Oh, thanks, Anita. You guys, anybody can do this. This is just a simple little fun project. All right, same thing. Let's do this one. Hi, Anna. Great to see you from Portugal. Okay, and then I'm going to try to hit these staples. So I know I'm getting some glue on all the staples. Okay. I'm curling, you see me do that as I'm getting rid of the glue sting, right? Glue string, not the sting. No stinging. All right. These are so cute. These have artificial pine cones. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I just love those artificial pine cones. I don't know why. Okay, that's it. Now, we're not done yet. We are not done. Okay, let's see if we can get this. I am going to make, this is where I talked about, you're going to get this little cluster all cute wrapped up like this. And then I thought this would be cute. You could take it over to your honey bunny and you could do like a sweet little kiss with it. It'll be a lot of fun. And then that could create memories of where your mistletoe is every year. So I'm going to hang this just kind of a little off to the side where the other mistletoe is printed on the side. So whether you have this off or you use it somewhere else, it'll be look really cute. So you decide where you want it. It could go right up here, or I'm going to move it over just a little bit. And then this we're going to hammer in, okay? Oh, got to keep hammering it. So you get it nice and tight. I think I'm going to need a little board underneath it. Oh, Kaya's giving me a hard time from outside. I was thinking we would use a cup hook, but then I thought this little cute little gold nail is cute. All right. So then you can just take and hang it on the nail when you hang it up. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? So now you can chase your honey bunny around and give them kisses with your portable mistletoe along with your cute mistletoe wishes and Christmas kisses sign. Isn't that cute? I said that backward. Christmas wishes and mistletoe kisses. Bloomerinos, we are going to take one of the cutest snowman door hangers we have in the shop, and we are going to transform it totally with all of these fun peppermint pieces and use one of the cutest bows we've ever made. Are you ready? We're going to have so much fun. So guess what? Come on in. Let's get started. So this is a burlap door hanger, and this one we have on Compilation.com. I love it because it's basic. It's kind of like a canvas. Like, it is ready for us to do whatever we want to do with it. And I like to take some of the embellishments that come on it off and really take it up to the next level. So let's do that. The first thing I'm going to do is just take some of these pieces off. I'm going to try to do that without destroying her. So I'm just going to cut her little scarf off and see what will come off easy and what's going to need a little bit of motivation potentially. Let's see. So I know if it has glue, it might leave like a little mark or leave a little residue when we take it off, but I'm going to pull this part off. And it's not a little bit of glue there, no biggie. Okay, so I've got a nice clean body. Now I'm going to take that piece of pine off the top too that came on it. And while those are cute, I like, you know, I'm going to do my own thing. Oh, another thing you can do is take your wire cutters and just grab onto it and just yank. It kind of helps you get a better grip. And I can cut this pine off here. So this whole first part is prepping the base, getting it like all fresh. So I'm going to take this off right here. And I hope this just encourages you that whenever you see something that you think is kind of cute, that you can take it and make it your own. You might already have some pieces in your own collection for the holidays that you could do this with. I wish this would come off easier as one piece, but this is not doing it. Let me try to yank on it. You got to make noises. Oh, there you go. All right, there he is. Now, don't worry if you have those little glitter spots. We're going to cover that up, easy peasy, and get this one ready to rock and roll. One of the first things I'm going to do is kind of create a collage of items on here. So I'm going to do this in a peppermint theme. So I have these cute little peppermints that come on a stick. And this one could just sit right here and go right over the center of the body. That'd be perfect. I can leave that bow on or I can take it off depending when I lay this whole collection out. If I like it on there, I'll leave it on. If I don't, we'll take it off because it just can slide on and off, all right? But I know I need to cover that little bit of glue there. Now, we already made a super cute bow, and we have the link for that bow video in the supply list of this project, so you won't miss how to make the bow. But I'm thinking we're going to put the bow down here at the bottom, and we're going to let that all kind of cascade down the bottom of this cute snowman. I love that. So I want to use a little bit of these curly picks, separate these out so I can use these at the top and kind of add my own little touch of candy places. So I'm going to take one of the curly picks off. Now when you cut these, you have to be careful because they want to, you know, unravel. So we're going to leave these two as one piece and leave this one on its own. So what I'm going to do here is take and curl this up into its own little candy and start with that piece down here that I'm worried about it uncurling. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue to hold it in place. And this is glue on my glue stick. I've got my glue pot off to the side, so don't be freaking out. Where's that glue coming from? That's coming from my glue pot. And now I'm going to curve this under and see if we can start to make our own little candy right from there. I'm going to start with the center. And then I'm thinking we're going to make a couple little candies out of one. See how cute? I think that's good. So I'm going to trim it. You're going to need to trim it and then glue it. So I think we'll use a couple of them. So a little bit of glue on here. And y'all know the reason I like to use the electric skillet for the glue is because it's a lot cooler. And I can come in here and touch it pretty quick. Okay, I'm thinking about we put one candy there. Oh, so cute. And then let's just make another little candy to go beside it. And this one I'm going to make a little bigger. We already had the curl started on this pick when we got it. And let's just make it bigger. So isn't that fun? And I could make, if I wanted to cut one of those curly picks up, I could make 6 pieces of candy out of it or more, depending how big you wanted to make them. Okay, I'm going to tuck this under. Woo, careful if it's hot. Let it get cool just a little bit. So now I made 2 pieces of candy, and I'm going to just kind of stack them up like this right on his head, but I don't want to cover his eyeballs, okay? So let's glue those on there. I love that. I love that. Now, if you want to use any of that pine that you pulled off, you could tuck that in or tuck a little in here. That would be cute too. I'm just going to keep it strictly candy this time. Just like that. And we'll put the big one and the little one. I think I'm just going to stack them up. How cute! We added a peppermint right to his hat. Okay, now I want to take my other peppermint and bring it off to the side. And I've got to decide, do I want to keep my bow on there or not? So this is going to be going down here. But I'm going to add these two pieces in beside it because I want to get a little bit of that soft texture. Let's have one curl to the left and one curl to the right, be a little bit bigger. I need to trim it down a little so it doesn't show here. Let's see. What if I did it just like that? How would that look? That would look super cute. Let's let one come up and one go a little bit little. As we would teach design school, this is called triangle placement, and you'll see that in a lot of pre-made picks how they come, because it's very visually pleasing to have things forming a triangle, and that's what we've got going on here. We've got three main elements forming a triangle. And if I let that come across his body, see how cute? One can go low, one can go high, and then our bow can go right there in the center. I think that's gonna work perfect. So we've got to make this cluster to go on here. So I need to grab my awl, and I will grab that, and then I'm going to show you how we put that in here. Boom! This is my awl, okay? And if you don't know what an awl is, it's got a pointy end. So the nice thing about that is we're going to be able to attach this directly to this burlap base. It'll be super duper secure. So once you have figured out, I have got the perfect placement, and I love where I'm putting this, then I am just going to make a couple of holes just right on either side. So just make a couple of marks by doing that, and you know that's where we're going to be tying this in. You may not be able to see that on camera, but I'm about to do it right now, okay? So I'm going to go through my burlap. Now, if you're really crafty, you could definitely make your burlap base, cut it, paint it, do all the things. But for me, we're going to just sell this to you as a kit, and it's easy. You don't have to do anything. You can just get all the supplies delivered to your house. You don't have to hand make that part, but you can still have this fun part of the process. So the only thing you're going to need is you're going to need some cable ties to do the bow, and you'll need the tools like the wire cutter, scissors, and in this case an awl, because I want to make sure this is nice and secure. So I'm going to get that started. Now, when we did the bow, and that was on a separate video, we've got the link here for the video so you can go watch it if you need help to make this bow. You can see that the color choices were done on purpose. I've got some black in here for the hat. I've got peppermints because that's my theme. And then I've got white ribbon because the body's white. So the whole combo of that is just perfect. So before we even put our cluster on the base, I want you to run that. Take your time and try to get this cable tie going through the hole. It can be a little tricky. We did it on the first try. So yeah, it's gonna be a good day. Yeah. Let's see how the other side does. You shouldn't brag early because you're not through the other side yet. So you're going to come back through the other side over here, and I'm going to have to watch how I'm pushing it through and just take my time and try to get it right to the center. And be oh so patient. So if it's giving me a little bit of trouble here, so like because it's curling a little. So what can help is just go ahead and run that cable, not the cable tie yet, run the awl back through. And then just kind of follow the awl back through when you pull it out. That sometimes helps. Spin it also, and that'll get you the batting, kind of a little hole in the batting, okay? Let's see if that works. Come on, baby. All right, I'm coming back through. Woohoo! There it is. It wasn't so bad. It's through. And now the cool part is it's going to be super secure. And it just is going to hold up longer than just gluing it to the burlap. Tying it in, it makes it all one nice piece. Here's your little cluster you made. And then I kind of like that these are tied together and that kind of looks neat. So I'm going to just go ahead and we're going to put it on the base right here where we talked about it going. And watching my curls, it doesn't cover up its face. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to go ahead and cable tie that in super tight. Okay, so it's going to hold it in place. And then we're going to need a little bit of glue though, because I want to make sure that Like if I wanted to make these and have these at my craft shows, or I want to take this to, you know, a shop that I had a spot in, a vendor market, cut that end piece off, then I want to make sure they're not going to pull out. And that's a big deal. In this case, we don't want it to pull out, okay? Because we don't want someone to be able to just pull out a piece of our cute little snowman. But I mean, my gosh, this is so adorable. It's so adorable. So in order to make sure that can't happen, I want you to come behind here and we're going to put some glue right on there. That's that same spot we had that glue anyway. So just pop some glue on the back of your candy and she's going to get glued right there. And that way we're safe with that. And the next little spot I'm going to pop just a little bit of glue is down here under the bow. I'm going to pop a little in there, still using my electric skillet with my glue and my glue on my dowel rod or my bamboo skewer. I'm popping in here under the bow. So that's getting on both those picks and the bow. And the reason I want to do that is so I'm really big on things having good construction. That's how I teach in my design school class. Not only floral design, but anytime you're making anything that you want to sell or give as a gift, you want it to be the best quality you can make it. And where it's going to hold up for future generations and be super cute forever, right? As much as we can make it last. But you guys got to try this cutie. This is so fun to make, so easy. Get a couple of these kits or grab the supplies because this would be great to make with your grandkids, and you could keep one and they could take one home. And we've got our latest winter kit for you. I can't wait for you to see how fun this one is. So as you guys have been asking for kits, this is a kit that will come with all the floral supplies you need to create your own project right along with us. And the only thing that you're going to need to purchase besides the kit for this project is you will need to get a little floral foam from a craft store, and you'll need a couple of U-pins that you can also pick up from an arts and crafts store. So those are the only things that are not coming with it. But let's talk about our base. This really fun deer head is just gorgeous. So anybody does like the natural looking Christmas, or you want something to switch on your door after the holidays, this is a really fun combination. And what we're using is we're going to be using some beautiful eucalyptus. This is kind of a juniper pine mix. We're going to use that on there. So it's all about texture in here. Then this is a pine and cedar spray. You can see what I'm textured, beautiful greens and browns. Then some killer hanging, like it's a pine of some sort that hangs. Oh my gosh, wait till we put it together. And to pop it off, some really fun brown snowflakes that are going to pop in there to add that beautiful color up here in the antlers. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you how we're going to start by putting this together. So the first thing we need to do is take and put our foam on our base. I like to use the floral foam. It's just easy to attach everything. So this is a little piece I've cut into a little square. Don't want to get too small. This is probably 3 by 2, something like that. And it's going to go right here, right at the edge. You can't just put it right in the middle unless you have a wire. We do have a wire, but I'm going to kind of go offset so I can grab a little bit of the wire back here, and I can grab some of that pine on the side. So I need something to help hold it on tight. So I got my little bitty glue pot over here to the side. I don't know if y'all can see that on camera. Let me see if you can see it. It's right behind my floral. But I'm going to dip it in, and you can see here, I'm going to get a good amount of glue. Let me show you. So a good amount of glue on there. I'm going to find the wire with my hand first and make sure I'm putting this right down there where it's going to catch some of the wire, the fabric, and the edge of the like grapevine on there. We want all of that. All right, this is my little bucket of floral pins. So it's just easy enough to get through, grab the vine, grab some of that wire, and we're going to put a couple from the side. You've got to do all this before that glue gets dry. So you got to kind of work a little quickly here. Okay, as soon as I say that, it's like fussing with me. Now I'm going to flip it over real quick. We'll add a couple pins right here along the back. It's warm back there from the glue, so be careful. But this is where I want to make sure I'm grabbing the foam also. Just, it's extra security to hold this piece all together nicely. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to take our florals and start building up our design here. Okay, and the first thing to start with is The eucalyptus. Love this eucalyptus, so pretty. We're going to use that for height to come up here towards the antlers. And I'm going to trim these off the stem. And I just need to trim them right down where they just have a couple of inches on each stem. Oh, another supply you're going to need is your own wire cutters to cut the florals. Which I'm sure all of you guys have already. Y'all are Bloomerinos. I know you're doing this all the time for fun. Okay, let me see if I can see that on camera. Yeah, that's my little glue skillet there. And I'm just going to pop this in, swirl it around, and I'm going to have, we're going to start adding these for height, okay? And that one's going to come towards the top. I'm going to take the two tallest pieces, and we'll just pop these in the sides. You can see I hold the foam when I'm pushing it in. Let's give us a nice layer coming up here high into the back. And then this one's going to come like a little bit in front of the head. Give them a little motion, y'all. You know, if you're a design school student, you know I talk about depth and dimension, so we're always wanting that, okay? I'm going to save this piece till the end. Looks like the little top. I'll save both of those. And we'll put these on towards the end, okay? I'm going to put those off to the side for a second. Now, let's grab that neat little hanging cedar. I love that. We're going to use that at the bottom here to hang down and give a lot of dimension. So what I'm going to do is cut these a little smaller so we can make them, we don't need it hanging down so far. So I'm going to take and cut these into some smaller sections where I can cluster them a little bit. Okay, so I'm taking each one and we're just dividing it in half. Right there. Okay, and let's start putting them in. Let me see who's the longest because he needs to go in the very back. And that's this one right here. All right, Mr. Deer. And we love this. If you've ever made a wreath, maybe you leave really long ribbon tails. This looks so neat hanging down the door and kind of breaking the plane of the dimension of the door in there too. Okay, and I'm going to place these two longest ones. And then I'm going to take the two shorter ones and they'll layer just right on top. Isn't that going to be fun? Put these right in there. Nice. And here's our last one. I'm going to go right towards the top. And then that's going to give you that beautiful, oh, that's just such a neat texture. I love, love, love that. Okay. Now we're going to drop our, this is a juniper and pine spray. And we're going to break this up into smaller pieces. And we're going to use this to fill all in. To get that nice and full. Let me trim this one to a couple inches. Okay, and each of these, as you work your way down, you can divide these into smaller sections. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing clusters of 2 or 3 here. All right, let's break that down. That's a nice pick. It looks so real. Okay, the pointiest, prettiest part right here. That's going to go right in the front, but a little bit behind the eucalyptus. We're going to use that right up here. Beautiful. Okay. Now the other pieces we're going to use on the sides, kind of the middle to center ones. They're going to go right here. Oh, beautiful. And this one's going to go right in towards the center of the head. Do you see it shaping up? Does this scream like cabin, rustic? How beautiful. It's so fun. You know, if you do really Christmassy, then you can switch out to a rustic porch. It's just kind of that cozy cabin feel. I love that. The last one I'm going towards the front. I'm just going to give that a little bend down. So you can see I kind of went around in a circle, kind of working on camouflaging that whole area. Oh, I love that. Okay, finally, we're going to take our last spray before we get to our fun pine cones. I mean, our snowflakes. This one does have a pine cone too. We want to make sure we're making these stand out towards the front. So I'm going to cut this down a couple of inches and then take this one, slice it in half. Okay, so I get a little of that juniper, and this is our like beautiful pick that I want to showcase towards the front. You know why? I love that pine in there. It's adding that texture. I'm going to take and give that a bend, and we're going to put that one right in here. I love that. Push it on in. Isn't that great? And then I'm going to use the juniper, just kind of going down. And then you can take any of your eucalyptus you had left from earlier and use that to hide any of your foam and tuck it in. Look how pretty. Isn't that looking great? So I'm going to take this and cut it into even some little smaller sections. And we could always steal a little more eucalyptus because some of it's hidden back here if we needed to. And this is going to come in and camouflage my piece of foam. That's perfect. Doesn't take a lot to do that. Come in here. You can also hide that with a little Spanish moss. I know you got Spanish moss in your collection if you need it. But that's working. You see how beautiful this is? All right, now let's pop in this one right in the middle. Love that. How fun. How fun. Is this gorgeous? Oh my gosh. All those textures and greenery are the best. All right, so now I want to take my snowflakes. And these are adding this beautiful brown color. And they're almost like this neat little velvety. I don't know, they have a neat texture. And we're going to divide these into a couple of sections. So I'm going to take, I think I want to take this one into three snowflakes here, and this one into 2. And depending how you want to do yours, these can be just raised up like this, or you can leave them completely flat. Now, you know what I'm going to do. I like having all that dimension. And I'm going to pop this, and I'm going to put them between the eucalyptus and the cedar towards the top, okay? So coming in with a little glue. It's going to pop in right behind that pine cone. Oh my gosh, how cute. I love this. It really looks adorable. Oh my, y'all, it's going to look great on your door because it's going to pop off. Now these two will go down. This is kind of our transition in the middle, so I'm going to work down right here. So you kind of need to measure out how long you need it. We'll have these go down. So super cute. Don't forget, you can shape these, moving these more forward or left. Isn't that adorable? I love these bases to create different pieces for your craft shows, guys. There's all kind of different taste in decor. And there's a lot of people who love just something very natural looking. And even though these are all artificial supplies, turned out just beautiful. Let me see if I can get you a really good corner picture. I want to show you that gorgeous hanging. I gotta move the glue cloth, guys. How that's gonna look hanging down your door. Isn't that fun? And if you want it more to the side, let's say you don't like it covering up his face quite that much, just move that over. You can totally move it over. Let me see here. Yes, that looks great. So I like these opposite, and this is just gonna look so beautiful hanging down the door. Oh my gosh, guys. I can't wait to see what you make. Y'all, if you want to grab this kit, just let us know in the comments. We will send you the whole kit, and you can just, all you'll need is your own scissors and supplies. It is available, of course, at Calise.com. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us wherever you're watching this video, because we've got more ideas and more inspiration headed your way. Hey Blue-Marinos, we're getting ready to play with our newest kit. I'm going to show you how to pull it together. It starts off with this killer sign, and it's an oversized, beautiful, merry and bright sign that is going to scream from your front door how pretty it is. And I love this for the holiday season. We have already tied a bow to go with this project, so if you need it to learn how to tie the bow, just ask for the link to that video here. And no, it's always going to be also provided in the kit link to this whole kit, so you can see the bow video as well. But I'm going to show you how to put this one together. These are great for beginners or projects you want to do quickly. If you're thinking about doing some projects that the grandkids can make for their mom and dad to give as a gift, this is a perfect idea because this is a simple, easy project, but very impactful when you put it together. And it really doesn't require any glue. It's easy peasy, okay? So what I want you to do first is we're going to put our sign over to the side, and our bow is already made over to the side. And we're going to start to make our cluster. So I like to take all the pieces that come in the kit and start to do what I call shaking hands. And that's always the first step of preparing your florals to design with. So whether I'm teaching in design school, in my class, teaching hundreds of ladies and gentlemen how to floral design every week, we still have to start with this part of the process, which means you're basically fluffing out your designs. And one of the things we generally do is we do what we call greening the base first. And that means we kind of set the perimeter, and that means set the background of the design. And we usually do that with greenery. And here in this particular kit is coming with this gorgeous flocked greenery in there. So what I'm going to do is take these and just kind of overlap them, crisscross them. So I have what we call a bow zone in here where the bow is going to go, and these are going to overlap. And once you start to attach these together, you have this really strong kind of swag base. And that is just a great, easy way to start the basics of this design. So let me grab a cable tie and we'll start to put that together and kind of build up from there. So I'm going to just start by putting one in the middle, and I got a few cable ties here. The only thing that does not come in the kit is like cable ties or wires, anything like that. You have to provide your own, but all the florals and the sign come in it. So I started by attaching this one at the center. I'm not even going to trim that off yet. I'm going to turn it around because I want you to make this nice and strong. So I'm going to take and just gently attach this here. It's green. I'm going to kind of hide it behind. No one's going to see it. It's camoed. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm doing that on both sides, getting it all attached. These are too fun and just really kind of easy to do. One of my favorite things because they whip out really quickly. And a lot of times projects like this are just great in your Etsy shop too. Just simple little projects you can fill your shop with. I'm going to trim these all off. My wire cutters, and see, I've created this great strong base. Now bring the sign over so we can take a look at it and kind of decide how you want to lay out your project. This is a metal sign, but it's dimensional. Look at this. Look how cool the dimension. So it depends how you want to lay out your design. You could go just straight all across the top like I'm doing here. You could bend these and kind of have it swag down and go over the circular shape, like bend it down. I think that's cute too. Another thing that's fun on a front door is just kind of go asymmetrical. Just go off to the side and let that puppy just pop out like that. I love that too. So this is kind of the look that I like. Out to the side, letting the sign be down. It's going to hang from here, and then this will be kind of a little bit cattywampus off to one side. So I love it. Now, we've got a couple of picks we need to add to our swag first, now that we've established that. So I'm going to pull that over to the side while we put these in. Now, one is a fun candy pattern, which is great. And I think it would be cute if we could kind of get a little of that going each way. So what if I take one of these and just swing it over? So when we put it down the middle, we get 3 candy canes working opposite ways. We didn't even have to cut or anything. I like that a lot. So I'm going to stick with that. Just take and trim the excess part of the stem off right here. And no one's even going to know that with the wire cutter. And we can go ahead and put our cable tie right down the middle again. Isn't that great? And because we're in here working in the bow zone, right in the middle, it's all going to be covered. You're not going to see any of that. So I'll trim that off. You can pull these candy canes out a little. I love that. And then just to kind of soften it a bit, we're going to use one of these eucalyptus sprays with a little bit of berries. It's got a little bit of glitter. And I'm going to use that piece kind of coming over here as an extra element in this section opposite than the candy. The 2 candy canes, so it's a little bit different, not all matchy-matchy, and I'll trim that off too. If you're in design school, you'll know that I'm big on not everything being so matching. Like, we want to make the eye see the little dimension and all the little depth that we're creating, but it doesn't have to be so symmetrical all the time. It can be, but it's fun to let it be a little different. So you can see we've already created our cluster. Boom. Our cluster is made, and that's going to go, it's squeaking up here at the top. And I'm going to let that just go sideways on my berry and bright sign. And I want to kind of bring it up a little so it's not hiding too much of the words, but it's kind of off to the side. So I need to leave room to hang it on this circle, but I want it to kind of sit in the middle of the circle, right? So in order to do that, you're going to use 2 cable ties to attach it to your sign. So I'm going to grab a couple here, and then we'll just put one over here and then one on the other side. And so that keeps it from falling all the way down. We got two on here in the middle of the circle. It's amazing how creative you can get with the cable ties and holding it on. You can always use wires or pipe cleaners, but I always find these can get a lot tighter than any of those and just hold up better in the long run. Okay, I'm going to trim those off. And now we got all this mechanics here you can see, but don't worry, we're going to hide that now and put our gorgeous bow right in the center. And look how cute! Now just attach this right to the spray. You don't have to go around the hanger. And you'll just, underneath my hand, I know you can't see it now, I'm just cable tying that in there. I'm trying to, but I love how cute this is. And I hope you want to try something like this for your home as well. These are just so fun, so easy. They make up in minutes. The thing that'll take you a little bit longer is the bow, even longer than the project. But you can see how much that bow makes it so cute and precious. Put those pine cones kind of popping through the bow, coming out. Let those tails come up. And you can tell we haven't even had to hide any of the words. Merry and bright with our beautiful swag right at the top. We nailed it, guys. We nailed it. All right, y'all, we're going to make the most adorable snowman door hanger. And let me show you what's going to come in this kit. So if you want to grab a kit for yourself, you can get it over at Cullies.com. And the link should be in the comments or the description. Here's the fun thing. This kit's going to come with all this. You're going to get a full roll of ribbon. You're going to get a little bit more than you need, so you'll have an extra for other projects. You'll get this Killer Magnolia spray, which is going to adorn our snowman. And it's got some great berries on it and greenery. And then we've got the Merry Christmas pick. Look how cute this is, guys. Decked out in the burlap on the edge, which is going to pull out the burlap in our guy. It's just perfect, the combination. So that's what you will get in your kit. Let's get started by just moving this all to the side a little bit and get the base going. So the first thing I'm going to do is he comes with a cute little winter scarf, but we want to take that off so we can kind of free up his neck area and get our design started. So it's tacked on here a little, which is okay. It might pull off a little paint. It's no big deal. I'm going to come to the back and just kind of cut this here in the middle. So that way, if I want to use this on something else, I can. I can definitely use it on something else. Now, he's also got this little guy on his hat. I'm going to take that off and gently pull it. It might leave a little glue or something, but it's no big deal. We're going to be covering these two areas up, and you'll never see it, okay? So he's naked. He's naked and afraid. Now I don't think he's afraid. He's free. Okay, so grab your Magnolia swag. We're going to use that first, and we'll be putting that right kind of in this area so you won't see the little paint missing, so don't worry about that. So the first thing we have to do with this is fluff it out. And in design school, we call that shaking our hands. Y'all, you know you can find out more about our design school at Cullies.com anytime. Just pop over there and get on the wait list if the class is currently not open. Okay, and that's called shaking hands. So I just fluffed it all out. I gave each piece its own little area. Now, this guy's a little bit long, so grab your wire cutters. I left mine over here. Let me get them. And I'm going to cut this where this section is in a separate area, okay? So I'm just going to cut that. So I'm getting two nice sprays. Little pine and then a magnolia. Okay, put that over to the side. Now your kit does come with cable ties, so you'll be able to easily put it together. Now I want to talk about how I'm going to lay this out. So I know this will be somewhere right here, so I'm just going to start laying it on Mr. Snowman and make sure I like how it's developing. So a berry, a couple little magnolias. Now grab the Merry Christmas spray. Now it's got 3 Merry Christmas in there, which is a little bit of an overkill for such a small snowman. So I'm going to just take 2. So I'll separate this out and cut that top part out. So I'll have 2 of the Merry Christmas and leave the other down. So I'll trim that off. And then we'll put this to the side. We can use that for another project, or, we may add it somewhere else in here as we're bringing them together. Okay, I'd like to stretch these out where one's, a little higher than the other. kind of give them a little spacing. So let's just slide that behind that one. Okay, so we got a Merry Christmas and we got a magnolia. How cute. So far, so good. And you can see we've already covered up that area that had the little bobo. We don't even have to worry about it. I know I want to attach this in the center so the weight kind of stays in the center of him. So let me grab this other bit of pine and let's use a little bit of that kind of coming up the back here. I don't need both pieces. I want to save a little for up here on the hat. So let me trim it off, that one little piece. We'll save that over to the side. And I'm going to have this kind of come behind here. Okay, so I'm creating my own little clusters that can go here together. I always hit my sign. You know, I work so hard to get that straight. And then I knock it. So you see I've created a little swag to go right on top of them. Isn't that cute? Isn't that precious? All right, let's just bring that off to the side for a second and flip it over so I can kind of see what I have going on. All right, and the reason I did that is I don't need all this length, but I didn't want to cut it too early. So now I know I'm just going to trim these off. Okay. And those are some good strong wires, you guys. If you want to save those for another project, you can. Now I'm going to come in and go ahead and tie this all together. Let's get it secured. Yay! I just bring it in, tighten it up. Boom. Trim that off. Okay. Now you can decide exactly where you want to put it. I'm going to put him right about here. Kind of don't cover up his face too much. He needs to be a little bit in the center so he won't hang crooked. So you have to think about that. Look at me bring these berries to the front. I don't want to hide them with my greenery. Put some nice layering there. Okay, so right there will work great. Now, grab your awl, and we will take, and you can close down your magnolia for just a minute. And I'm going to just kind of mark 2 little dots so I know where to put some holes. So we need to punch holes from the front to the back. Just put your fingers wide so you don't poke yourself. You see here how I'm coming through? And punch that hole nice and wide because there's batting in here and we've got to be able to get through the batting. Okay, good. That one's in. So I'm going to gently pull that out. Just back it out. Keep rotating the awl so you keep making a nice hole we can get back through. I'm going to go ahead and press it down. And while it's got nice and open, I'm going to put my cable tie to the back, which can be challenging, but we're going to try. There it goes. Yay! So see, it came right through. Okay, now we need to do the same thing with it going through the other side where we made our little mark. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Just push through. I'm putting my fingers, separating it wide to add some pressure, but make sure you don't poke yourself. And just keep twisting it so it stays tight in the hole, and I'm going to pull it out and then just push my cable tie back through the hole. Okay. Hopefully you don't have to wiggle it around too much. It can be the, oh yay, we got it through. Okay, so look at there. It's going right through the snowman, and that's going to work perfect to attach our cluster on. So let's just put it on right in the middle. And I'm going to get it really tight now, nice and tight, however direction I want it. I kind of want it sideways, but I want to make sure he's still going to sit straight. I'll move his arms out a little. How cute is that? Okay, so we've got it nice and tight. I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. Cutie patootie. Now, let's go ahead and make a little bow for the center to go right in the middle. I know you can't see it too good, but there we got a hole we've got to cover up and work on. So, you remember our ribbon. Let's grab that. And we're going to make just a really simple little bow. I think I'd like a couple of tails to hang down here about the length of the flower. So just measure that out. Okay, a little bit down to the greenery. Come to the center and then twist. Okay. Now I'm just going to make a 1 loop here. And I'm just measuring on his body. Like, how big would I like it? A little bit smaller, I think. And twist. Make another one on this side. Now we can scrunch it. And just bring those tails down. So go ahead and lay it in there. See if you like the size. I think that works So somewhere about here. I'm still holding the middle of my bow while I just trim that off. Okay, there he is. Grab a cable tie, and we'll just get the center of this guy looking good. Get him nice and tight. We're going to need to put in another cable tie in a second, but I'm holding the middle and I'm fluffing him out. I'm going to put him about right here. So just double check the links, make sure you're happy with everything. I like the edge on this. It's helping it pop out from everything else. Picking up the white from the snowman. Love it. Now let's put in a back cable tie. Okay. And just get it nice and tight. All right, so this is what we're going to be using to attach, and I'm going to cut off the tail that you see flopping around. Don't worry, it's coming off. All right, now the next thing I like to do is I like to cover the center of that just to make it, just have another cute little element. It's kind of my signature thing. You don't have to do that. I'm going to take about a 12-inch piece of ribbon, fold it on itself till I get the pattern I want, which I really like. That line going down the middle, that looks nice and sharp, and you can make it really fun and bulky like that. And I'm just going to tie a little knot in the back where you won't see it. Because we don't have room, we're not going to tie 2 knots, just 1. But it will be plenty tight, you don't have to worry. And I'm trimming off the excess tail on the ribbon. And let's put it in. Let's go in here. Okay, it's going to go right over the attachment area. All right, so I'm just going to go grab under that cluster, and then we're going to tie it on its own cable tie here. That's going to be so cute, y'all. This is fun. We're just making our own little arrangement right on Mr. Snowman, and I'm knocking my sign. One day I'll learn. Should just put on a digital sign. It wouldn't get in my way, would it? All right, let's pull those down and fluff it up. Okay. Get the tails going where you want them, and I want them to kind of tuck under those leaves. I think that's fun. Come down here and curl. Get a curl going on. Let me get a little tighter curl. I like this tighter. Yeah. Cute. Bring that down. This side, same thing. I'm a fan of curling. You try what you like best. Now let's open up the magnolia and see what else we're going to need down here in the center. So I kind of want to camouflage this area right here in the middle. So what I think would be fun is if we used a little bit of greenery in there. So this piece kind of sticks up. Let's cut that off. We have this one we can use too. Well, we can use that one. Let's see, how much do I have left for the hat? Because I want to do a little bit on the hat. I've got enough for the hat. Let's go ahead and use this one we cut off. This is okay. I'm going to change the angle on you guys. Just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to take this one and we're going to be gluing it in down here where it can kind of shoot out of the bow if you like that. The other option is take it behind here and pop it under the bow here and leave it a little more naked around there. But I kind of like it looking like the bow is layered in there. And in design school we call that breaking the plane. So I want to break the plane of the ribbons. But I'm going to have to do this with glue, I think. Well, maybe not. I can tie it to down here. I'm okay. We can tie it. Let's do that. Okay, so cable tie going around the base of that pine, and I'm grabbing that lead wire that is here on the magnolia stem. Okay, I got it. I got it. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to put a little glue also right next to that so I know it can't come out. Okay, so I'm working right under the magnolia. So let's just put a little bit of glue. You could use your glue gun at home, just be really careful because it's so hot. I'm just going to tack it with my glue pot and my dowel rod. All right, that looks good. And I'll just take the leaves and kind of push them up against the glue so it holds it and you don't see it. Just make a little sandwich. And now open up my magnolia again. And voila, that is all tucked in and hidden. Okay, now what I'm going to do is we've got to make his hat cute. Fluff back out your bow. Got to have a cute looking bow. Okay. Now here's a couple different options. I also think he's really cute with the scarf and doing his hat. Let me show you the scarf. Really easy to put a scarf on this dude. You just come in the back here with your ribbon. And you can have a little scarf. Now depending how long you want his ends of his scarf, just kind of measure it over right here. Okay. And let's have the scarf kind of crisscross over. It could do it on this side without too much trouble. I'm just going to take and crisscross it on top of each other and then just fold it down. Just bring it down where it's not covering his mouth. So we'll put it right behind the flowers, which is really neat because that helps break the plane of the flowers too. So I'm just loosening my knot a little bit. Okay, and we're going right back over that area where the paint came off. Remember that? Let's cut these a little shorter. These are going to hang down, but I want you to see that this is his scarf. So I just want to cut it a little bit shorter. And let's cut it a little different. Let's dovetail it so that it looks a little bit different. Ah, cute! And then this one we'll do the same thing with. Now, we are going to glue these down so you can, they stay in the background. Okay, so you can use a glue gun. I'm going to be using my glue pot and just tap those down really quickly. So I'm going to that spot under his neck where the paint came off. We're going to put a little bit there. Just a couple of dots of glue. When you see me twirl it, guys, I'm just keeping the strings from happening. Whoop, a little hot under there. Right under the knot. Give it a twist. All right. Tap that down. Oh, got a little glue on that. We don't want glue over there. And then I'm going to put a little piece down here, just a little glue down here to tack this down. It's not doing anything but just keeping it from popping up. Okay, cute. So there is the scarf. Isn't that precious? And that's in the background. So you can see we're layering our design. Just we're building it up little by little. Okay. Now we're going to work on the top part of the hat here. So let me get these guys pulled over. And we're going to need a little bit of pine, a little bit of fun up at the top. Now, we can add the other Merry Christmas to the hat if we want it. It could shoot off the top here, but I just feel like it's just too much. So I'm going to pull this piece off, and we'll just save that for something else. Just cut it off here. Okay. And we've got this cute little pine cluster that I think could sit up here just nicely. It's similar to the one that was up here, but it's a little bit longer. I'm just going to trim it. Okay. So it could sit there, and we could glue that, I think, without too much trouble. If whatever you decide to build up here is larger and you want to tie it in, we can do that also. So that's going to go there with a little bow. Now let's see if we want to steal anything from the... I wonder if we could take our snowflake off the ribbon. I don't know if we could totally get it off the ribbon, but what we can also do is we can cut that ribbon off the back and still use this little snowflake. I'm just going to trim it off really tight. So if you just started watching, you're like, where did that snowflake come from? He was at the beginning of the video. He came on there and we just pulled him off. All right, so we're going to be using like a little cluster like this, a shorty. This is the original one, a shorty and a longie. Now we could just put the snowflake there, or we could put a bow and a snowflake. Let's see. Before we glue, we're just playing with it. Let's just do a really simple bow. We tie just a loop and a loop, 2 loops, and we can cinch it in the center, just right here, and we could tie it. Okay, so if we put that right there, oh, that would be cute. Let's do that. Sounds fun. So I'm coming in with a cable tie to tie the center. All right, don't get it too tight yet. We're going to put an attachment cable tie in the back, but we'll use the attachment cable tie to kind of tie that whole section together. Let me grab one more, guys. They're over here. We're gonna need a couple more of those. Coming in with that one. And I'm gonna pull it down. All right. Trim it off. Okay, so we have the long cable tie attached to the baby bow with little tails. And this is all gonna tie right into the top of the hat, okay? So pay attention to the way your cable tie goes so we can put the holes in the right places. This is from the earlier one we had there, okay? So I'm gonna gently just push in. We're gonna make two little easy holes. Yay, there goes the first one. Make one more. Make sure you're going all the way to the back and watch your fingers, watch your table with the awl. We don't want to be poking a hole in a good table. No, no, no. Mamas don't appreciate that. Ask me how I know. Nor do they appreciate fake snow all over their kitchen. Ask me how I know. Okay, I'm going to go in on this side, guys. I'm just coming back up through the hole. Sometimes it's a little hard to get. Yay! Got it! So it's coming through in and over. And there's our bow. So it's, this time it's all one piece, okay? So let's take this piece, put it in. We're going to grab plenty of that. Then I'm going to take the baby piece at the bottom. And we'll grab our little cable tie and we're going to pull it tight. This is so much fun. You can add as little or as much as you want. And because all these components have wires in them, I can bend them up, around, over, to the side. See how cute he is? Hey, look at there. He's turning out so cute. Okay, cut his cable tie off. Alrighty, okay. So we got a scarf, we've got a back bow here with the pine, we've got the pretty tails that are going to be going down. Isn't that cute as can be? Now, here's our snowflake, and I think we're just going to put that right in the middle of the bow. Let me trim a little bit more of this jute off the back. I'm just sawing it down. I can't pull it all off because of the glue, but I'm going to just get it where I can't see it between the snowflakes. Alright. A touch of it's okay. I mean, we have the whole burlap look going. Alright, we're going to put it right there. Right? Oh, that's perfect in the middle of the bow. Let's do it. Let me go over here, grab some glue. This is glue from my glue pot. I'm just going to gently put a little on my base. So that's kind of going to work good because it's going to hold it to that fabric. And I'm just going to push that right in the center of my bow. Make sure I have my bow where I want it, my tails where I want them. Want a little curl action? You can. Curl them up. Y'all, we did it! We did it! I love it! I love it. I can't wait for you to try your own snowman door hanger, guys. He turned out really good. And he's a totally different look with all the fun buffalo plaid. And of course, the Merry Christmas. Y'all, we've got the kit available right on clays.com. What I'm going to start off with is, the sled is really cool. It's flat on the back, so it works great to hang on your door. So we're going to start off with removing what's on it. It came with this on it, but we are going to make our own. We're going to jazz it up the way we want to. So I'm going to get back here and just make a couple little cuts. This is stapled on, so you can just wiggle it right off. There you go. And I'll just pull out any remaining staples, just wiggle or cut, just for safety. I don't need those poking me while we're working. And you could use a staple gun to reconstruct this if you want, but we're going to just do it with cable ties, so you don't have to have a staple gun. The only tools you are going to kind of need at home if you get the kit is you're going to need a wire cutter, way to cut wires. This is our mini bolt cutter. And then because we're going to be using some ribbon, you're going to need a pair of scissors that can cut ribbon. Okay, first thing we're going to do is build up our base. Now, I would hang on to this. This would make a cute little addition to something else. It's got two little rusted bells. You could even work this back into this arrangement if you wanted to. I'm going to do it completely different without any burlap, but you could certainly, don't just chunk this. You could use this on something else really quickly and easy as well to embellish. All right, so I'm going to start off with my my Great Berries spray. I love this spray. It's got so much potential. And we're going to start to build out our design that we want to go on the front. So first of all, I know I want a bow in the middle and I want a little bit of greenery going up and down. So the easiest way to do that is to take this bush and just make a bend on it, okay? This is a nice long, it's not really a bush, it's a spray. But I can take these and just bend these back. And look, I've got berries up and down, and I've got a space here in the middle where I'm going to put my bow. And we'll call that a transition point. So in our design school classes that we teach, you can find out more about those at Calise.com. That is the middle portion where the design changes direction. So your eye stops at the bow and it knows to go up and down. So that's what we're going to use right there. So I've got a nice little pine cone up here. I've got space for my bow. I'm really happy with that. So I don't need that long wire poking out. I'm just going to take a second and come around, flip it around, and let's just trim that off. I can leave a little bit of it there, that's fine, but I don't need it coming all the way down. Okay, and so I'm just laying that right across my sled. Easy peasy. Okay, and we know this sled is carrying Santa, so we've got his reindeer. Now, I love these little reindeer because they're fuzzy and they have a little bell. Bells are great on something you hang on your door because, you know, it's the fun whimsy of the season when you sit there and you come in and the door opens. So on this one, I know I'm going to need a couple of reindeer going up, and I'd like one reindeer coming out the bottom too. So it's a little tricky because I don't want him to be upside down flying. So I'm going to take my stem and cut off the longest reindeer first. So he's going to be on his own. Sit over here, buddy. Pretty sure that might be Donner. I'm not sure exactly. Rudolph's up here leading the way. So these two are going to go at the top. So I need to be able to tie them in here at the bottom in the center. So I'm going to cut that off just a little bit longer. So because we're going to use this as our transition point where our bow is going to go, we're going to spread these little guys out a little. Have a little bit of greenery come up. And you want to intermingle it so they break the plane of each other. So you're going to see me spread them apart and make him look so cute right there. Isn't that awesome? All right, now down here at the bottom, I've got a lot going on, but I want to get that straight. Very good, very good. Now, I want to bring in my other reindeer. Now, if I put him like this, that's cool, but he's flying upside down. So what I want to do is I want to put him in, but then I want to give him a little, take him on a little journey and flip him around like this. So I've got to use that one with the long wire and able to do that. So I'm going to slide that to the back, pop Donner down here at the bottom, slide some berries around so he doesn't look like he's on top, just shoved in. He looks like he's part of the construction down there, okay? Bring that longest piece of greenery to the middle. We don't need it shooting out the side. There you go. So I'm just manipulating it all. Okay, adorable. So that guy's sitting up there. These are there. We're happy. I'm happy with it, where everybody is. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a cable tie. And first, before I tie this to the back, I'm going to tie it to itself. So all of these are going to go in their own little construction, in their own little cluster. And I'm going to cut that off. Boom, just like that. All right, now I'm going to grab another cable tie and I'm going to attach it not only to the piece that goes across here, but I've got to grab a little bit of this wood piece, otherwise it would slide off and end up down here at the bottom, which is fine. If you like it better that way, that's fine too, but I want mine kind of centered on the sled. So you see I'm going to grab across that support beam on the sled and over here. I'm from Texas. I don't know anything about sleds. I'm sure it might have a particular name, but we aren't sledding much here. We got to have fake sleds on our doors. We got to pretend. I'm from Houston, guys, so we don't get much snow or know much about wooden sleds for sure. Okay, it's in, it's good. I'm happy with that. Now we're ready to make our bow. So let me pull this over to the side and really quickly kind of clean up for just a sec, and let's grab our ribbon. And you're going to get a good amount of ribbon so you have enough room to make a double loop bow. Now you can use it, you can use an easy bow maker to make this, or you can do it just by hand. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this at the angle that I want it to be on this side. I like that tail at an angle. And I want this to come down just about the length of the sled. I don't need it much longer. I'm going to put that in my fingers and I'm going to twist, okay? Then I'm going to make my first loop. Now, I don't know exactly how wide I want it, but I'm going to bring it over to my piece. And do I want that loop off the side? Probably not quite that big, so I'm going to back it up a little. Do I like that better? Oh yeah, I like it right near the edge, but not all the way, okay? So I bring that to the center. I'm still holding that in my hand, And then I'm going to just kind of pleat it a little and twist. Okay, I'm going to make one on this side that's very similar length. And then I'm going to bring that tail down. And I'm just going to cut these at opposite angles. And this time I have the angles pointing out. You can have them pointing in or out however you feel. Just like that, okay? So there's my first 2 loops on my bow. All right, I'm just holding that tight with my hand. 2 loops, 2 tails, okay? Very good. Now, I'm going to add another little layer of loops. And this time I want the tails to be a little shorter. So I'm going to measure. I want it to be just a little bit shorter on there. And I'm going to cut that at the same angle to match. Come in there and give it a nice little cut. Okay, perfect. I'm going to pleat it up a little before I twist it. So I pleated it, and now I'm going to twist. And the only reason I pleat them a little bit is so I can control the cluster in the center and kind of keep it more narrow. And I'm going to make this loop just about an inch shorter. So you see me pleating it in the center, and then I'm going to twist it. And then we got to do one more, guys. You're just going to make this match on the other side. And I'm just pleating it up. I don't need to twist this time. All right. And we've got a little extra ribbon, so if you wanted to do longer tails, you could. You should have plenty, okay? So I've got 2 loops on each side, and I've got 2 tails. Let me just trim this tail to match this one. So I'm going to cut it this way. Perfect! How cute. Hold on to this because you might want to use that for something else on the project. You never know. So I'm going to come in here with a cable tie and run it right down the middle while holding everything tight. And you can definitely use your Easy Bow Maker if you want it to do all the holding for you. Okay, and I've got it pretty tight. I'm going to take that moment to fluff out my bow. So important. And if you want to get a little angle on this center, you can. Like I've done, I've kind of got it going up and down a little. Make sure you've got your tails going where you want them. I like it, I like it. And as soon as you're completely happy, the next thing we do is we place in an attachment cable tie before we cinch this so tight. And your cable ties come with your kit too, so you won't even have to run out and get those. All right, get it really taut and pull that down now. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me trim that piece off in the back. Now I need to take a little bit of the ribbon we had and cut off a really skinny piece just to go right down the center of the bow. I'm just going to cut a little piece off here, about 12 inches long, nice and skinny. And I can also fold it. The reason I'm folding it on itself is I want to eliminate those raw edges. Bring this back, yay! And I'm going to take and put it right down the middle. Okay, and that helps some separation in the tails, helps to tell everybody where it's going, and most of all, it covers up my cable tie that you can see down the middle. All right, and if you're using wire, you can still do the same thing just to freshen up that center. Now I'm going to take and trim these off. Okay, and the best part is coming. We're going to put this dude all together. So let me run this down the middle, right where we had everything else going. And instead of going around the whole back of the sled, so we don't see a lot of cable ties going back there, I'm going to go just right in the middle here. Okay, and let's get that down. So I tied that to the wires that were already there instead of going to the back. And the nice thing about that, it gives me a little angle on the bow, which I always think is interesting and fun. Let me bring this down. All right, the back tails I'm going to kind of tuck under so they lay pretty. Just tuck them right under that greenery. Okay. Get this guy going over here. Cute. Now I'm going to bring this over. Now I want that deer to kind of see how he's going to lay a little bit against the plaid. Oops. Sorry, guys. He's going to lay a little bit against the plaid where you can see him better. And then these tails are going to poke out right from there. Got my pine cone. I'm going to give these deer a little motion forward, and I'm going to give the greenery a little motion forward, because you want your pieces, guys, to have dimension and not be flat. You know, if someone wanted to make this to go behind a screen door, then they might need it flat, but we don't want to make flat stuff, right? We want it to have a lot of movement and action. So look at that. Look at there. We've got Donner, Blitzen, Rudolph. They're all ready to take off on this sled. Today we're going to make a really fast and easy snowman door hanger. We're starting off with this incredible base that we got on our website at Khalees. And I'm going to flip him over. He's got a nice wire support in there, but I'm going to take this and just give it a little bend up. So that way, oops, don't let it fly off. That way when I get ready to hang it, I've got a good starting point right there on hanger, and it's not too flat. And then I'm not trying to adjust that when I've got all my pretties on the front, okay? So he comes with a little cute cedar up here and some pine cones, and that's adorable. It's all got this ice and glitter. And I think the first thing we're doing is we're gonna put some arms on him. So we have these gorgeous, cute snowball stems. I thought, wouldn't that be fun to have a couple of those as his arms, like big snowballs got up on him. I'm gonna take a couple of these glue strings off. And what I did is I'm looking for the two pieces that can match. This side has 3. If I bring this over there, this will have 3. And I could use these 2 for arms. So what I'm going to do is just cut those off. The stem. Isn't this so cute? It's going to be super easy and simple. Alright, this one's got 2 big snowballs. I think I'll take one off so that they're pretty similar. That one has 3, but it doesn't have to be exact. And I can put those over to the side. Maybe we'll use some of those somewhere else. But I want to use these as arms, so I'm going to make them about the same size. One might be a little bit shorter, one might be a little bit longer. And then I'll be hot gluing these in. Right now I'm just going to stick them in to show you, but we'll be able to glue them in when the time comes. And that ball's a little bit not too bally. I'll just cut it off, no problem. We got you. Alright, let's put these in. I think the arms will look pretty cute from the neck, or a little lower. I think the neck is going to be maybe right there. I like that. So I'm just going to take and push them into the vine. Let me trim it a little bit shorter. Come here, you little trail. Oh, it's pretty tight, but we can get it right there. There we go. So there's an arm. Isn't that cute? That's super cute. I love it. And let's put the other arm in. Maybe we want to put it a little higher. If we put it there, how does that look? No, it needs to be a little lower. I like it lower. You'll have to play with yours and decide where you want your arms to be. And I want them to come up a little too. And the cool thing is, since this is all icy and snowy, you don't really have to worry about anything showing. I'll get my snowballs up and popping. All right, his arms are on. Now, you can do a lot of different things. I'm gonna, you can go to town decorating where you want. It looks really cute, like a little icy bird's nest down here at the bottom. But we're going to make a bow first and decide where we want to put the bow. So I'm just going to make a really simple, basic bow. I'll make the tail. If I'm going to put the bow at his neck, I want the tail to come about down the whole length of the snowman. So I'll just hold that between my fingers and I'm going to give it a twist, okay? We don't have this available in a kit, but we'll have a supply list for you where you can grab the things you want. If you just want the snowman, you can get it. Okay, so I'm going to decide my loop length by placing it in the middle of the snowman. Oh, I think I want it a little bit smaller. Something like that. So that'll be my loop length. You'll have to play with it and see what you want. I just twist that in my hands and I'm making a loop on each side. Just like that. And I scrunch that down. This is just like we do in our bow videos, but I'm just not using the bow maker. I'm just holding it in my hand. Okay, there's a simple bow. If you wanted a little bit more body, we could do a few more, we could totally do a few more loops, so I've twisted it. Let's say you want 2 loops on each side. I make it about the same. The only thing I do different here is I scrunch and then I twist, so I keep my scrunch nice and neat, my twist nice and neat. Alright. And I know I want that tail to go down also. So here is when we have 2 loops on each side. Okay, oh, that one's a little big. Let's make it a little smaller. So there's a couple of loops on each side. So you have the different options. If you want 2 loops, then I just cut it with the tails the same length. I think I'm going to go super basic, and we're going to go just keeping the bow simple with 1 loop. So we'll measure it out, twist, measure it out, scrunch it. And I like that one. All right. I use cable ties, so I'm going to use a cable tie to tie this guy off in the center. You could also just tie a regular bow, but I want my tails going forward. and really fluffing out. Pull that down. And let's cut these at the same length. I'm just going to dovetail them in. All right. Now I need to put a cable tie on the back to attach it to my wreath. Or this time my little snowman. So I'll just slide that underneath and trim the little pointy part off, and we're good to go. So that's going to be going right in the middle. I'm just thinking we might glue a snowball in the center. If we're going to do that, we don't need to cover up the green. Depending what you're doing, I am going to go ahead and cover it up just in case we go a different direction. But you can see how fun this project could be. You could just go to town. I was thinking you could put your grandkids' pictures, clip them to the inside of the snowman in the middle. Wouldn't that be cute? Like your little snow family. You could just print those out on cardstock on your computer, so you wouldn't have to worry about, you know, anything if it's not the original picture. I just put that down the middle and covered it up. So we got a really cute, simple bow for the center. Now here's what I was talking about. That's at his neck. If you wanted to do the bow more down low, you could. How cute would it be off to the side? You have so many options. You want to put one on his hat, you can. We're going to be going right here at the neck in just a minute, but I want to keep creating a little more fun and whimsy around and just beef him up a little. So you see this gorgeous gilded greenery to the side? Yeah, we're going to use that because why not? Snow and glitter goes so good together. And this spray is real easy to just take a couple pieces off. So I'm just going to cut one down here. And look, I'm cutting it out the wire, so I'm not going to waste any of it. And I get a nice little wire stem. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it being a floppy stem. It's nice and strong. So, oh my, sorry guys. If you knock over your light, it's coming at you. Now, the option is to beef up the arms, if you wanted to make them a little more whimsical with the green behind. Or I was thinking it would be cute to have this like up and down from my bow. I haven't put anything on, I'm just setting it there. A little bit down, how about a little bit up? Let me trim the next one. Just trimming it right there. I think that would be cute, just to have these going sideways like that behind the bow. There we go, that's the wispiness I'm talking about. Not too crazy, just a little simple. I have a little bit of the snowballs left, but I feel like I like those just on his arms. I think that makes them really cute. Okay, let's grab a little bit more greenery to spoof up the top. Got a nice big piece here, and if you want to make it a little shorter, I can come in and trim it. Just kind of cut it halfway, and I cut it on the wire so I didn't lose any stems. Got it. And I could put maybe these out to the side. Here and here, and realize I'm going to be coming and gluing these in with glue in just a minute. Oh, how cute! And she's coming to life now. Look at her. She's coming to life. All right, let's get one more big piece. Maybe have that kind of come off the top. And I'll just tuck that behind the cedar. Man, literally with just a few steps, we have souped her up. Taking her up a few notches. Okay, and that goes, oh my gosh. She's looking so cute. All right, I even have a gold pine cone if I wanted to use it. I'm going to pull it down a little so I get some of that wire. I need a little bit more wire on her. If I can get it. We'll try. I'm just going to take and twist it. Oh yeah, this wire's coming out. See? Got a little wire. We can throw the gold pine cone right in the center of everybody else up here. I'm just going to stick that wire right into the grapevine. Twist her in. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get this center part tied in. And I can do that with my bow. So I'm going to come in with my cable tie and just go all the way into the grapevine. Through the back, hopefully. There it goes. It's coming out. You can use an awl to poke a hole if you need it, an awl. AWL. I think that's how you spell it. If it's not cooperating. Mine came back through, but it came way over here. That won't help me. I need it way over here. There it comes. That's better than nothing. All right, so I just went through each side. I'm gonna overlap these, and now I will grab my cable tie and cinch that tight. And like, we tack a little glue in there just to make sure they're not gonna pull out. Especially if you're gonna give it a gift or sell it. You don't want it going anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna fluff up my bow. Get my little curls going. She's cute. And you know what? This snow girl can be for winter. She doesn't have to be necessarily for Christmas. I love her little arms. Okay. And I think I'm not done yet. I think she's naked at the bottom. She's just naked down here. I've got one more piece left and one more pine cone. Let's see what we can do. Let's cut this piece off. I love these simple Saturday projects, guys. They're just easy peasy. How about something like this to the side? And maybe we put like a little curl of ribbon down here. Ooh. I'm just having fun. I hope you have fun too when you create. We just get after it. So I'm just going to make a little loopy-loop of ribbon. So I've just made a little loop with two tails. Nothing too crazy. I'll show you it again slowly. So I took a tail. I want the tail just to kind of come down a little. Twist one loop, scrunch it. Okay, that's all it is. Little loop. And I'm going to be attaching it right here. Just as a little counter action going on. Not a full bow. Alright, we need a cable tie again. And I'll run that cable tie. I gotta hold my bow at the same time. But I'm gonna run the cable tie just right here to the side. My little bow here. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Get it tight. Turn that off. I'm gonna trim a little of this wire off too where I can't really see it and we can hide it behind the ribbon. I'm gonna put, I think I'll put another little gold pine cone down here. Now, I still need a little more pine because I want a little bit shooting down. So I'm gonna steal a little from that top piece. We haven't glued it in yet. I'm gonna make it a little shorter. And I just cut it on the wire. And that way I don't have to use a whole nother piece. I can glue this up higher anyway. Okay, there we go. That's cute. This is lovely. This is adorable. And I'll push this one into the grapevine, glue it in. Oh, I'm getting excited. Okay, I was debating on the snowballs, but why not? Let's play with a couple. I'm gonna cut these off the stem. This is so fun. So stinking fun to play with this. And the only thing I haven't done on here, I've wired some stuff on, but I need to glue the arms and things in as well. So I'm gonna put a little snowball there. Just a little baby snowball at the bottom. You gotta talk like a baby when you put the baby snowball. One big snowball up here on his head. Ah! That's so cute. I put the big one up there too. Like, geez, somebody's been snowballing this guy big time. And then I've got a third one left that would look really precious down here on the top. Okay. My goodness, it's super cute. Now, let's take, I've still got one of the glittered pine cones, and let's not forget about it. Let's use it. I'm gonna just twist that and it'll come right off. Alright. And this one I'm gonna glue. I'm gonna glue it right here where you can see where our mechanics are, and we'll glue it right on, and that will cover up all of that, okay? Now, the only little touch I think I still want to add is I'd like a little birch ribbon at the top, just to kind of carry that throughout. So I'm going to take this piece and just cut a piece like this, and I'll just cinch it up. Let me grab a cable tie. I'm going to grab it with a cable tie. And then let me turn this girlfriend around. Yay! And I'm just going to have this ribbon kind of come out of the top up here So I'm going to go in the hat really close to those pine cones. Go in, baby. Then it's going to come back up the other side. So I'm just like I'm sewing, going inside, coming up the other. Trying to get it up. There it comes. See it? All right, and I'm going to get this tight, really tight, so it won't pull out. I just trimmed off the tail. And then all I'm going to do here is some tight little curls that kind of just come out and around and flow like my others do. And you don't need these really long, just a little bit. Okay, what do you think? Oh my gosh, y'all. It's so good to knock the sign over. What do you think? I think you can do it, y'all. Don't forget, you can grab our supply list at Cleese.com and grab you a snowman to decorate today. I'm going to start off by prepping our base, and this time we're going to use a little bit of Gorilla Glue, and we're going to use some hot glue, okay? I'm using just a little bit of foam. This is floral foam, and it's kind of the dense foam. It's a perfect one to use for any projects that we're using artificial flowers with. So it's dense, and it's not sandy or crumbly. It's not made for water. It's for artificial flowers, and we just need a small little block of it. And my plan is to put that up here a little bit off center. You do have to think about, we can't put all the weight on one side or it will hang crooked. So keep that in mind when you're creating, but I like it. I like things not so matchy-matchy. So I'm gonna start with a little Gorilla Glue up here, like right above the holly leaf, right on this edge. Generally, if you can catch a little edge and a little bit of other elements in the design, it kind of will help it stay on there better. So I'm putting some hot glue on now. I'm dipping that in my glue pot. If you don't know what a glue pot is, just ask here and we'll share a video with you so you can learn all about our electric glue pot skillet. And you see I'm just kind of putting that off center a little bit. And while that starts to set up, we're going to start to make our design on here. I'm going to start off with our greenery first, and we're using this really beautiful snowy eucalyptus. So it's a nice, pretty snowy green. It'll help pick up this pretty green here, which we already know looks good with this color combo with the gold around the edge. So I'm going to take and cut these all off this bush right here, and we'll get this prepped. Some of these we're going to use long, some of them we're going to use shorter. So I'm just trimming everybody off. And when I'm teaching in design school how to create the beautiful floral designs we do, we talk about creating the perimeter with the greenery. And generally we do that first on most projects, but sometimes you might add greenery at a different point. But here we're going to do it first. So I'm going to take my first piece, and hopefully this has gotten set up. And I'm going to kind of come right down here on my left to start out shaping up my base, okay? So even though I want to do what we call breaking the plane of one item and bringing it over, I don't want to cover up all the words. I like for it to kind of dabble in the word area, but not completely cover it up. So I'm going to do two of these that are about the same length. I'm just trimming them down. And that way I've got some little pieces like this to come back and use later. I'm going to put this one on the right. That one's on the left, and we're just kind of doing what we call mirror placement right now. If you put it on the left, you put it on the right, going back and forth. All right, let's put a little bit more greenery in, and let's just go right beside where we put the other, coming a little bit more this way, a little bit down to the right. Now come back to your left, come on back to your left, and we're gonna work. I'm doing the same thing. I'm taking that little section off, and now I'm gonna go up a little higher here. So basically, when you're floral designing, you're going to create lines and you want to create depth and dimension, and all of that helps a look come together. You see what we've got going? And we're going to stop there with the snowy greenery for right now, because we'll bring some more of that back in the design a little bit, but that's a good baseline. Next, we've got our fun bell pick. I love this one because these bells are, of course, going to give a jingle jangle when it's on the door. You got the pretty metal there. You pick up the metal from there. So whenever you see me designing, there's a lot of thought put in a design, because we need the whole look to kind of come together with the materials. And that's how you get a more designer look, a polished look, when you follow the directions I'm giving you to help put these things together. Better off grab a kit from us whenever we have kits available, because those help make it super easy to kind of get a look going. We're going to shake hands with this just like we would in design school. So you're going to take your time, just like I teach my KDS Blue Merinos. You have to take your time and you have to be patient. You're paying for really nice, beautiful quality florals, but if you don't take the time to fluff out each section, then you are going to be frustrated in the look you're getting. If you just leave it all clumped up, we want to take and separate them into beautiful sections. That's what we just did there. Now this piece is going to go right here and kind of pop over to the right. We're going to have, oh my gosh, I love that we have this holly in here. I look for such beautiful holly, and that holly is just popping right out of there. All right, now let's come on either side with the other two bell sprays. And I'm shaping it out again. We're going to come in over here, going to the right. I love that. We'll just keep touching it up, pushing these into the foam. Make sure that bell's in there really good. He is. I'm going to tuck him right there. And then our third bell spray is going to kind of come down this way, right here between those greeneries. We're going to tuck that in. These kind of projects are a blast because they're not going to take a big commitment for you if you're just trying out this hobby for the first time. This is pretty simple. You don't have to go purchase a bunch of stuff. You're just going to need some hot glue. You're going to need a little bit of foam, and then you can snag a kit or grab the supplies from us and it'll come right to your door, and you're not running around crazy trying to find everything. All right, you can see what a great base we have going. Now we're going to put a bow on there. We made this bow in another video, so the link for this bow is here in the supply list for this project. And all I'm going to need to do is I'm going to add it to a little piece of wire called a U-pin. We have a cable tie there in the back, and I'm going to be able to tie that right onto my little U-pin, okay? It's a little metal pin shaped in a shape of a U, and it is found in the floral section of most of your craft stores. Now I'm going to take and put it right in the center, okay? And we're going to go ahead and put that in now. So I'm going to put a little glue on my U-pin and just tuck that puppy right in there. Up over here. You're looking so pretty, girl. You beautiful. Oh my gosh. And then that just pops right there. Isn't that cute? I love this. I love when it comes together just how I hope it's going to come together. Because we've got this metallic ribbon, we've got the metallic in the bells, and then we've got the beautiful sheen of the enamel look sign. It all just pulls together so pretty. All right, so now we need to go ahead and start to tuck in around the bow. So remember our smaller pieces of the eucalyptus that's glittered. We're going to start to put those in and around here, okay? So let's put a couple coming down first. Oh yeah, perfect. And we're going to start to watch our glue strings. They'll pull right off this sign if they get on there. It's no big deal. But you want to put these right at the transition of the bow. And let's have one maybe come down a little bit. We got our cute little bell hanging out here, and we can move her more to the middle if we want. I think that's always kind of cute. Just wiggle it over, let it kind of come out the middle of the bow. Now I let a little greenery come down. I like that, but if you want it a little shorter, you can always come in and just like take off a couple of leaves, like boom, a little less, no big deal. Do a little haircut. All right, and I'm gonna come up above and we're gonna pop a little in here, and you can kind of see how it's starting to shape out. So we filled that in, we got our fun bells. But we're not done. We have a berry pick. And the reason we're going to use the berry pick in here too, it's got a little bit of frosty, icy snow, so it matches this look. We're going to use this to bring that red color in the bow into the greenery a little bit. So I'm going to just take this really quickly and we're going to just tear. And generally when you tear, you get longer stems where the wires kind of come down. And we're going to do that. There you go. And I'll pull my little holly leaves off. And then I'll leave this little top part as one cluster, pull that out. And I could just trim that. Now when you do tearing like that, you got to clean up those edges always. And now I'm ready to put some of these berries in and these little pine cones right between where we have the bells. So I'm going to take this first piece right here and we're going to use it right up the middle because it's just a perfect spot. Just lay that right on top of that eucalyptus we had already put in. And I'm just going to hold on to my foam on pushing it in so I don't get overly aggressive and go crazy. because that glue is still kind of warm from when we put it on there. Okay, that looks really pretty right up the middle. And now let's go here. I'm going to separate the berries out. This one's like a cluster of 3, so we can separate that. So we'll have a couple of these. These could kind of come down from the center. Get a good amount of glue on these wires, because that will help it stay better. Because it's kind of a thinner wire. They're gonna go into the foam nicely, but you need to make sure you're getting a good amount of glue. Oh, put that layer that right in there. Ooh, ooh, it's breaking the plane of the ribbon. Na 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 na. Oh gosh, I love that. Okay, we went that way. Now let's go this way, and let's work between these clusters. I'm gonna use one berry over here between these two. We're just gonna tuck that in pretty, and then let's do a little bit over here. It's a little bit fatter berry. I'm gonna have that one come there, and this one has a cool twig that we're gonna use too. Look at this twig. It's kind of a reddy brown. So I'm just gonna make my own little cluster. Just gonna twist these together. Comes out this side, and I'll curl those just up on my finger, and I get that really pretty fun curl. Let's bring that over right in here. Oh my gosh. Doing all this detail work is so fun, so relaxing. Yes, and it kind of sprays down a little bit more. We've got one pine cone here that I know will look super cute tucked by that bow. So I'm gonna trim that down. And he's gonna go right in here. Oh, you guys are gonna have so much fun making this. I think you're gonna probably keep this for yourself because these are adorable. Adorable. All right, now I'm gonna take my little last piece of the eucalyptus, and what I want you to do is cut this into little single or double sections, really small. And our job is to now go in and fill anywhere we've got little holes, or we need a little touch of that glittery part. And just take your time and fill this right in to kind of camouflage your foam behind. Walk on either side, take a look. Okay, how's it look from underneath? Where do I need to add a little bit more? Once you do that, you're going to come up with the cutest looking ornament that you've ever seen. And who doesn't love "Have yourself a merry little Christmas"? Isn't that perfect? It's a perfect saying for the beautiful holiday season. And I think you've got it. You got it. You could do this. So let's talk a little bit about the supplies. These supplies are going to be available on Colise.com, where you can get exactly what we're using today. And we're going to be using just a fun red berry pick with some greenery and a twig, because that gives it that winter look, picks up the brown from around our Cardinal, and then a coordinating ribbon, which I love this one because it's got a little bit of the rustic look that's coming from the grapevine and the burlap background. So between the combination of these simple supplies, we're going to make this really super cute. So come on in, make sure you like and subscribe, follow us wherever you're watching this video. And if you could do me a favor, spread the love to anybody else who would enjoy making a project like this. That would be fantastic. So I'm going to start off, these burlap bases, they come with wire supports, which are really great. So anytime you're working with one of these, we sell these throughout the different seasons, and we have fun because they work like a wreath base instead of a circle wreath. You've got some different, different texture going on, and they are three-dimensional. So look at there, his little wing pops out. All that makes it just super, super cute. So we want to utilize this when we create our design. So the first thing I'm thinking about is the hangers right here. Now, if someone were to hang this on a regular wreath hanger, it would be pretty high at the top of their door. And we want to kind of get this down center. So I like to add like a longer hanger on there. So depending how long you want that, let me tell you how long I am going to measure this one. Let's see here. I am going at, the one is there. So this is, where's the one? Oh, the one's in the center. So this is 12 to here, plus another 5. So 17. It's about 17 inches long, to give you a measurement. I'm always using my Easy Bow Maker to measure stuff. It's a ruler built into the table. So let me know where you're watching from Do so, and don't worry if you're catching this on the replay, no worries. Let us know, chat it up, come on in, ask questions. Please, please, please. We're here to help you in your floral design journey. And we've got lots of folks who just enjoy floral design for relaxation, stress relief. And even some of those who do this to make an income every week, sell their pieces. So we are just so blessed to have you here watching. And thank you again for being with us. Now I'm just tying right here a basic knot. It's just a regular old knot. I did a couple of them just like you would tennis shoes. I'm always tying my daughter's tennis shoes, right? And I don't want them to come undone. So we've got our, we said about 17 inches of nice loop up there. And I'm just going to leave this one open. If you want, we have other videos where we take and make a loop at the top. You can check that out on our blog. Anytime you see a ribbon hanger on something, we have detailed instructions to help you do that. You guys, and if you're not taking advantage of our video library on Khalees.com, you really need to, because there we have just so much fun. You know, we're always putting up different projects and different little techniques to help you make your floral designing even easier. So this is floral foam. You can grab this at any craft store. And what we've done is, oh, they even have it at the dollar store. It's the kind that's more crispy, not sandy, okay? And it's not made to be used with water. That's what you want. And I like to tuck this kind of near the hanger because you have to think about your balance. Now, he is a birdie, so he's meant for him to kind of sit up when he's hanging like this. So that's fine. That'll go with our design. So I know I want to put this little piece right here by his wing. And I'm catching a wire here. Remember the wires we talked about? So let's push that in. So you are going to need a couple of like craft supplies. You can hear I'm using my electric glue skillet. You can use a glue gun, but remember when you work with a glue gun, it's a lot hotter than the electric skillet. So be very, very careful. You might melt the foam. But just take your time. You can use a low melt. Now I come from the back, and here I'm just going to pin in a couple of pins. This is recessed here, so I don't have to worry about that scratching their door. And now that foam is being held by the wire. So we're good to go. So our structural element is done. I'm happy with that. I love, love, love it. Now I'm going to add a little bow. So let me pull out my bow maker. You can also tie the bow by hand. You don't have to have a bow maker to do this. But I just find it easier to use and measure everything out. Okay, now let's talk about our tails. Depending if you wanted tails coming down his body, you could do that. But they would come in front of him. So I'm just going to do a bow that has some tails that kind of come out like loops. We call those funky bows. Now, on this kind of ribbon here that's got an edge detail that will come off, what I like to do is just fold that. Instead of dovetailing it or something, do like, I'm going to do 4 folds. Then I'm going to hit it with just a little wee bit of glue on the edge here. Just give it a little touch. And then do 1 more fold. Okay? And maybe 2 if the glue squeezes through a little. And don't squeeze it real hard. Just let that be a cute little detailed edge. Looks really cute curled over. All right, we're going to put these at about 5 inches. This is going to be a little baby bow. It's a 5-inch tail. And I'm going to make this loop at 4.5. Twist it. 4.5. Twist it. Okay, and I'm going to make this one at 3.5 and twist. You guys, I have been waiting for them to stop blowing so I can video. And literally, they just blew again. I know they're just doing their job. They're not at my house, but you know how it goes. 3.5, so I'm going to make these even a little smaller. Making a cute little baby bow. And then I'm going to make another tail. And we did that at 5. So I'll cut that one. I'm going to cut it a little long because remember I'm going to have to curl it up to do that little detail on the end. So 1, 2 curls, and then maybe 3. And then I'm going to do 2 more with a little bit of glue. Just try to go light on that glue. The first one I went a little heavy and it squeezed through the weaving, but I'm not even squeezing that. I'm not even squeezing it. I'm just letting the glue catch it. That way it won't unroll. Ah, cute. There's our sweet little baby bow. Now I'm going to come in with a cable tie. Oh, we don't need, that's a super long one. We could just use a normal 8-incher, just like this. I'm going to run that down the middle, and you can use wire or whatever you want for this project. I'm still going to stick with my normal little cable ties. Rotate that a little bit to the center. Hold pressure. Now, you've got it between your fingers. Now, fluff this up. Tail up. Get it all. Oh, look how cute it is. This is super cute. Isn't that great? And now, what we're going to do is I'm going to put a floral pin in the back. So the same pins that I used to take and secure the foam a moment ago, I've got those in here. Nice and tight. Now let me move this out of the way. We're done with our bow maker. We're done with our glue. I mean, not our glue, just our bow maker. I don't know what I'm talking about. Lord knows, sometimes I lose it. Okay, so that's ready. And normally I'd put ribbon in the center, but I think we'll take one of the berries that we're going to be using just a little bit, and we'll pop those in. So bring your baby cardinal back, and we're going to put this in first, okay? And I want this kind of at the top. Oh my gosh, how super cute is it? I want it kind of at the top up here. And I'm going to put greenery coming all around it from this pick. Okay, that's the plan, Stan. And then we'll use a berry right in the center. So let's kind of keep it at the top a little. I'm going to gently dip. You know what's safer? Rather than dipping, just bring the glue to the pins. Okay. You do need to glue when you pop it in there, or it's going to loosen up. Y'all, Miss Ari has come in to the video. You want to say hi, Ari? Come here, Ari. Come say hi. You want to say hi? Nope, she's not into it, y'all. I give her the opportunity. She's not impressed. Okay. All right, so now we're going to work all around our sweet little bow, and we're going to keep things small and tight around there. So let's start off by breaking down our twigs. I love these. We're going to use some of these in the background. So I'm going to cut these right off the stem here where they're just as long as they can be first. And now, I'm going to take some of the smaller pieces and even divide them up more. All right, and let's just tuck a few in here in the background and kind of create our shape. Just like if I was teaching floral design in design school, which don't forget, you can always get on the wait list for design school. We open up twice a year. That is at KhalilsDesignSchool.com. There's also a sign up at Khalils.com. Get on that wait list. Because I'm always teaching to create the perimeter when we first start out with our background pieces. And usually that's greenery, but this is a winter piece. So we're going to have that be twigs this time. Now I'm going to utilize all of this pick. So one of the easiest ways to break apart a pick like this is to just strip it. So I grab my scissors, kind of tear it a little, and then we'll just break it down. And then these will just come all right apart here. So we got berries, we got this great greenery. I love this piece because it's got some really premium pieces mixed in it. This one's got a little baby berry and a cedar. And if you want to break that down, we can do that too. Just take and tear it. Usually that'll work. All right. So it's all shredded apart. Now, let's start to put that in around the center. So I hope you're thinking about some pieces you might already own around the house that you could do this with. If you want to make this exact cardinal, we've got the kit for you. Just let us know in the comments if you need the link. We also send the link out automatically to those of you on our text list. So go to textkhalil.com and we will send you the link for all these supplies. Look how pretty that greenery is. It's a nice winter color. I'm going to kind of come in the top here. Beautiful. I'm just spreading the greens around. And I like that they're not all matching. I think that's fun. This is a super long cedar, pine. And the neat thing about these, generally you can separate these. Just go to a point in the middle here and cut it. And now we can have two separate pieces. And they look fine. They look fine. So I'm going to use one over here, and I'm going to go opposite positioning of these. So one on this side, kind of coming down, and bring that eye across to the other side. That's kind of creating a line, and that's something else I teach about in floral design class at KhalilsDesignSchool.com. This is what we're talking about. So when you put things in, we don't just poke them in. There is strategy, there's technique behind where we're placing them. Look how cute that's already looking. Talk about depth and dimension. Look at that. Those are the 2 Ds. Those of you in design school know what I'm talking about. We're always using depth and dimension. Now let me bring out some of these little, like, clusters of pine. I love that. I don't know if we can grow those pine trees here in Houston, but man, I want one. I want one. So we're deconstructing the original pick, and now we're using it to suit our design. I'm going to go a little heavier at this end because I still want the birdie to be flying looking when she is hanging. So we want the weight at her tail. Oh, isn't she precious? She is precious. This makes such a sweet gift. It's a great teacher's gift. It's you know, especially for schools who have a Cardinal mascot. That's awesome. Plus, this is great for assisted living, retirement centers. These are smaller pieces. And you can keep this really simple if someone wants to put it between a screen door. You don't have to add as much depth. Okay, I'm going to go in with a little bit of berries on either side of the bow now. Look how cute. Let's go on the other side. So this bow technique I'm doing here where we're tucking in around the bow, that's something you could do on anything. Anything in your home. Add the bow, and you can do it where it's not permanent. You can make everything on the foam and then just attach that foam with Velcro to something. Just put a little Velcro dot, a command strip. There's all kind of ways you can do that where you don't have to permanently attach it, but you can make it so cute for the holidays. Or even this is just wintry. Look at that. Okay, we know we need to use the big berries in the center, so we have 2 clusters of those. I'm going to need one right up the middle. So I'm going to take and cut that really tight because we didn't cover our mechanics in the center. No biggie, but that's what we saved that for. There's no foam there, so I've really got to hit this with a good amount of glue so it can attach itself. And I'm going to want it to touch that cable tie, but I also want it to grab some of the ribbon. That's perfect in there. Now that being said, you can attach something like this to presents. Like we've made this all on the foam and attached to the Cardinal. You could do the same thing to a gift. It is literally unlimited. I'm going to tuck these berries underneath, continuing the line from the center, but making them like a little surprise down here. Yeah, beautiful. And I'm going to use the Pinecone tucked underneath down here at the bottom. So the eye will continue through and follow up right here with the darker color of the Pinecone. If you don't have a Pinecone, come in there with some berries in that same section. All right, easy peasy. Can you do this? Let me know in the comments. Tell me that you got it. I got this, Kali. I'm going to nail this. Let me know down there. Okay. Now, one of the ways we like to finish up our designs is twigs. And remember, I told you at the beginning, we were using this like a greenery. Well, we're also going to use it like a twig. So the reason I do that is just like when we're bow making, we want to bring the color from the back to the foreground. So take this and break it up. Take the longer piece, break it up, and we're going to use these like little twigs in the front of the design here, okay? Let's do it. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let me dip it in my glue, come over, and we're going to tuck these right under, and I want them towards the front. And it gives you this beautiful cohesive look and that wintry feel. Oh man, I can't wait to make more of these with you guys. I love Simple Saturday projects because I always feel like no matter your budget, no matter if you can get this kit or not, you can use what you're learning right here to really spice up stuff in your home. Or you can take these techniques and blow it out of the park for craft shows. These are kind of little simple projects that I used to sell tons of at craft shows when I did craft shows full time because they're different, they're simple, they're going to be a lower price point than a full wreath, but they still have all the fun, depth, and dimension. Look what we just did. Isn't she precious? She's got her hanger. She's going to look super cute on a door. Look at that. You guys, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see you make your own. Make sure you share it with us. We have a few twigs left, which you could keep adding, but I'm pretty happy with this. I'll save these for another project. We've got other gorgeous berries and supplies at Cleese.com to help your home become more beautiful. And please come hang out with us because over here at Cleese, it's floral fun at its finest. And we thank you for being a Balloon Merino. We'll see you next time. And I'm going to go hang this chick up, literally. Guys, happy holidays. I'll see you soon.